We are about to watch Citizen Kane. So I watched the Transformers the movie, and Orson Welles was the voice of that Unicron, and then I guess I need to know who Orson Welles is because I said I didn't know, and I probably should know, and this is where I find out. Of course, I have heard of Citizen Kane. I think everyone has heard of Citizen Kane, and I was kind of thrown a bit when they mention it in Friends, because I think they say that it's like a most boring movie ever.
Have you ever tried to sit through Citizen Kane?
Which is not great for me. Slightly put off, but it has been suggested a heap, which means I think they were probably wrong in Friends. Now let's do our big fat shout outs to our top tier patrons, who are Jane Doe, KG, Nathan Wolf, Robert McGregor, Adamantis, Rudolph McGillespie, Brian Menador, Calico Jack, Glenn Anaquad, Wayne Kryker, Robert Inman, Rob Jones, Ragnar Mars, Alonso Torres, Bill Bryant, Face Chase Face, Roger Freeman, Jake McNulty, and Eric Bonham. And you know what to do, the like and subscribe and all of that stuff. It makes me so happy. And we are ready to watch Citizen Kane and play. Black and white, lovely. You guys know how much I like a black and whiter. This is so strange because we're like a minute in and it's already doing it for me.
Rosebud.
Rosebud. Oh, he died. Who died? What does Rosebud mean? Rosebud is one of the cheats for The Sims. Means you get money.
Collection of everything. So big it can never be catalogued or appraised.
Wow. Wait, that guy that died of...
The fish of the sea. The field and jungle. Two of each. Biggest private zoo since Noah.
Private zoo.
Costliest monument a man has built to himself.
To himself? Strangest funeral.
Apartment building, factories, ocean liners, third richest gold mine.
Oh, so he just owned everything.
57 years later, before a congressional investigation.
How funny is the narrator? He sounds so angry. 50 years later.
And I shall then refuse to answer any further questions.
Good. That's how it should be.
And always will be a fascist.
And still another opinion.
Did he say fascist or fascist? Fascist.
Spoke for millions of Americans, was hated by as many more.
This is what happens when everyone knows who you are. Not everyone's going to like you, unless you're Keanu Reeves.
Twice married, twice divorced.
Thrice or twice?
To a president's niece.
President's niece.
Died 1918 in a motor accident with their son.
Uh-huh. Wait, with her son?
Defeat that set back for 20 years the cause of reform in the U.S.
Oh.
Forever cancelled political chances for Charles Foster Kane.
Yeah, you really have to watch what you're doing in your personal life if you're getting into politics.
A Kane paper closes. 11 Kane papers merged.
Oh dear. And Kane himself is always niece.
You can take my word for it. There'll be no war.
Take your word for it. Hey!
Then, last week, as it must to all men,
That's such a horrible way to put it. Is dead. Could you not say it, sugarcoat it a little bit?
You've got to tell us who he was.
Neath that answer. What were Kane's last words?
Yeah, I know, it was Rosebud, but nobody was there. Nobody saw it.
When Charles Foster Kane died, he said just one word. Rosebud.
How do you know?
He's got something on his mind called Rosebud. Now, what does that mean?
A racehorse he bet on once.
Yeah, that didn't come in.
All right.
Yeah, it could literally mean anything. Because when you're away to die, your mind's not in the right place.
Rosebud, dead or alive. It'll probably turn out to be a very simple thing.
We'll see. See, so did the nurse hear that he said Rosebud? Because I didn't think she was in the room at the time. But the thing is, if it was the nurse that's telling everyone he said Rosebud, she could totally make that up. Like, everyone could be like, oh, what was his last words? And she'd be like, oh, he said that he wanted to leave everything to me.
You have something, Mr. Thompson? I'll have a highball, please.
Who told you you could sit down?
Do you own the chair?
Get out!
Maybe some other time.
Not anytime soon. Ah, he's got things to tell you.
She just won't talk to nobody, Mr. Thompson. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were doing this because you had something to say.
Just the other day, when the papers were full of it, I asked her. She never heard of Rosebud.
Huh. Rosebud.
The chapters in Mr. Thatcher's manuscript regarding Mr. Kane.
That's all I'm interested in.
Pages 83.
He's not going to find anything until like the very end of the movie, and it'll be like a eureka moment. I think I should start journaling, you know.
Be careful, Charles.
Kane.
Pull your muffler around your neck, Charles.
Kane,
What's a muffler?
Decision on all matters
I
concerning...
don't hold with signing my boy away to any bank.
Look at him in the window.
The sum of
Father.
$50,000 a year is to be paid to you and Mr. Kane as long as you both live.
50,000 a year. Oh, that must be a lot.
He is to come into complete possession. Don't you think I'd better meet the boy?
Wait,
I've got his trunk all packed.
is he going with you? What? What? Is she selling her son? Don't understand.
Where am I going?
You're going to see Chicago and New York and Washington, maybe.
But why? I don't get it.
Now, what do you say? Let's shake.
Why, Charles!
Charles, you almost hurt me. What's
Charlie, Charlie!
What's that?
I don't understand this whole arrangement. Are they only going to get the money if he lives with him?
That's why he's going to be brought up where you can't get at him.
What? That's very odd. Why can't the mom go with him then?
A little newspaper, I understand we acquired in a foreclosure proceeding. I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
It'll be fun. Well, he's only, what, 24? He's probably not old enough or experienced enough to run anything.
Choose to clear slum. Inquirer wins.
Is that Orson Welles, this guy? That, him.
Mr. Bernstein, I'd like you to meet Mr. Thatcher.
I'll just
How do you do,
Mr.
Thatcher? Leland?
Oh, it must be him then.
I came to see you about this campaign of yours. This Inquirer campaign against...
So has he not seen his mom and dad? Ever?
Charles, I think I should remind you of a fact that you seem to have forgotten.
Yes.
I think he must be Orson Welles. Charles.
You're right, Mr. Thatcher. I did lose $1 million last year. I expect to lose $1 million this year.
That'll be just pocket money to him.
At the rate of $1 million a year, I'll have to close this place in 60 years.
Wait, you live to be 60 years. You're probably still alive then.
Too old to call me Mr. Thatcher, Charles.
You're too old to be called anything else.
I want to know if he got to see his mom and dad again. I still don't understand what happened there.
If I hadn't been very rich, I might have been a really great man.
Don't you think you are?
Does being rich make you not a great man?
I think I did pretty well under the circumstances.
Yeah, it can bugger you up. Having a lot of money thrown at you in one go.
Rosebud, huh? Girl, there were a lot of them back in the early days.
I don't think it's a girl. I think Rosebud symbolises something, and I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm going down to see her again in a couple of days. About Rosebud, Mr. Bernstein?
I don't think anyone's going to know. I think you're going to have to figure it out yourself.
It's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Right? He's so right. That if all you want is money, then it's easy enough to... If all you care about is money, then money is what you'll get.
Father that's worth 10 million, and then one day he shoots himself and it turns out there's nothing but debts.
Yep. Heard all that before. Lots of times. Money, for a lot of people, money is everything. And then it seems like they have a lot of money, but really they're in a lot of debt. They need to show that they've got a lot of money. Does that make sense? So they need to make it look like they've got a lot of money, which is putting them in more and more debt. And then because the debts is so much and they don't actually have enough money, then money is what their life's been about constantly. It drives them to this point where they don't think they can live anymore, and then that's what happens.
The editor-in-chief.
Thank you, Mr. Carter, but this is Mr. Leland.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Leland?
Well, why did he think you was Mr. Kane? Oh, bugger.
Oops.
One of the things that's going to have to be changed around here. The news goes on for 24 hours a day.
You can't have people working for 24 hours a day.
No proof that that woman was murdered. It's not our function to report the gossip of housewives.
Have him tell Mr. Silverstone he's a detective from the Central Office. The Central Office.
Oh, you can't be doing that.
Here, you ready for dinner,
Mr.
Jedediah?
Kane, I can't see that the function
Mr.
of a
Carter, you've been
respectable...
more...
I like that guy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, he's ruffling some feathers. That's what the newspapers do here. They just report on gossip and stupid things that nobody really cares about and make up lies.
We did it.
Tired? Tough day. A wasted day.
Wasted.
How? What is that fire? How is that safe?
Yes, and that light. What are you gonna do, Charlie?
Oh, I thought, is it not meant to have like a lamp over the top of it? I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Solly, that means we're gonna have to remake again, doesn't it, Solly? Yeah. You better go down and tell them.
All right.
He keeps repeating everyone's names. I've never liked that when someone says someone's name like heaps. It sounds like you are... What's that word I'm thinking of? But being patronising, it sounds like...
Staff together?
Look at that guy with the mustache at the front.
20 years.
With his arms folded. He's like, I am the boss.
World's greatest newspaper men.
I felt like a kid in front of a candy store.
Well, that was cool. Very nice transition there.
They've been making statues for 2,000 years, and I've only been buying for 5. You don't expect me to keep any of those promises, do you?
I like the relationships that them two have.
If you please.
Oh, I've never been able to do that. I want to learn. I want to have the loudest whistle.
I am not overdressed.
You are too, Mr. Bernstein. Look at his...
I am not overdressed. He looks happy. He looks like he's loving life.
With wealth and fame? He's still the same. I'll bet you...
Well, the thing is, he's always known. He's saying with all his money and fame he's still the same, but he's always known that he's had money, hasn't he? Since the Thatcher guy took him. He's always known that he was going to have a lot of money, so he's probably always, yeah, he probably has always been the same.
Where was I until yesterday?
Oh, Mama, please.
I am not overdressed. That's the best line.
Bernstein, am I a stuffed shirt? Am I a horse-faced hypocrite? Am I a New England schoolmarm?
Well, I don't know what any of those mean, so...
Oh, Charlie was collecting diamonds.
He's collecting somebody that's collecting diamonds. Anyway, he ain't only collecting statues.
He's collecting women.
167 employees of the New York Enquirer.
The heads look like the bodies are inside the trophy.
I'm sorry, I can't accept it. No.
Say, he was in an awful hurry.
Well, what's happened?
Hey, looky out here.
Let's go to the window.
Is that his first wife?
Announced the engagement of their daughter Emily Monroe Norton to Mr. Charles Foster Kane.
Right. Oh, I can't wait to see the wedding. I hope we see it.
Before he's through, she'll be a president's wife.
Yeah, and then I can guarantee he had something to do with a car crash.
You know, Mr. Thompson, this Rosebud you're trying to find out about.
Maybe it's a password for something.
I wish I knew where Mr. Leland was. A lot of the time.
My nose is freezing. Does anyone ever get just a really cold nose for no reason? The rest of your body's fine, but your nose is freezing cold.
Old age. It's the only disease that you don't look forward to being cured of.
I don't want to get old, and as I'm getting old, I wish there was a cure to not get old. Not a cure, a preventative.
Rosebud. Saw that in the Enquirer. Well, I never believed anything I saw in the Enquirer.
He just said what I said. It could be not his last words, if that's what the nurse said. She could be speaking rubbish.
I don't see why you have to go straight out to the newspaper. Even newspaper men have to sleep.
I think his mind doesn't sleep. He's got like ADHD.
Don't spend that much time on the newspaper.
It's what you print, attacking the president.
He's still a well-meaning fathead who...
Fathead.
Happens to be the president, Charles.
That's a mistake that will be corrected one of these days.
She wants you to have an actual affair, because if you're having an actual affair with a woman, then she can kill her, but she can't kill a newspaper.
Mr. Bernstein is apt to pay a visit to the nursery now and then.
Does he have to?
Whose dad is the son? Because I don't think he's the dad. I think she started having an affair when he was having a newspaper affair, and that's why they both had a car crash.
Wasn't he ever in love with her?
Yes.
He married for love.
At the beginning.
That's all he really wanted out of life was love.
He loved her, but he loved himself more.
He said she was a cross-section of the American public.
A cross-section of the American public? I don't get that. What does that mean? I know what she's rubbing on her teeth. Clove oil or clove powder. Clove something.
You got dirt in your face.
It's not dirt, it's mud.
You want some hot water? I live right here.
Oh, I didn't realize he was covered in dirt.
Said if you wanted some hot water, I'd get you some.
All right, thank you very much.
And that's how it started. Funny.
Medicine doesn't do a bit of good.
What you need is to get your mind off it.
Need to pull a tooth out.
Excuse me, but my landlady prefers me to keep this door open when I have a gentleman caller.
Eh! Your landlady doesn't get to tell you.
What are you doing?
I'm wiggling both my ears at the same time.
Oh, I can't do that. I've never been able to do it.
Took me 2 solid years in the best boys' school in the world to learn that trick.
2 years? Is that how long it takes? How long does it take to learn this thing? Because I need to know.
Gee, you know an awful lot of tricks. You're not a professional magician, are you?
No, I'm not a magician.
It's a professional gobshite.
No, I don't know many people.
I know too many people. I guess we're both lonely.
Do you know, if you know too many people, you're only supposed to know like 100 people, and if you meet any more than some people just go out of your mind. So it's like you never even met them. Wait, are you still with your wife at this point, or no?
But how old?
Pretty old.
How old?
22 in August.
That's a ripe old age. What do you do?
I hope they're joking.
My voice isn't that kind. It's just, well, you know what mothers are like.
Yes, I know.
Your mother gave you up. I think she sold him. This is quite awkward, because imagine she was really bad and he was sitting there like, what do I do? How do I tell her that she's crap? Oh, so I think this is at the point. Oh yeah, that's your son. Your son. I want to know who the dad is, because it's definitely not him. This is where you get caught in bed with the singer.
Is Pop governor yet? Not yet, Junior.
Junior of whom? Not his junior.
Prosecution and conviction of Boss Jim W. Geddes!
See what I mean? He talks a good talk. He doesn't do a good do. He does a bad do.
What's this all about, Emily?
May not be about anything at all. I intend to find out.
Oh.
I'm going to 185 West 74th Street. If you wish, you may come with me.
Oh my god! Busted! Oh god, what do you do? And how did you find out? That's exactly what I would have done. Perfect.
Charlie.
I don't suppose anybody would introduce us. I'm Jim Geddes.
Yes.
Aha.
Send it because I made her see it wouldn't be smart for her not to send
In
it.
case you don't know, Emily, this gentleman...
I'm not a gentleman. Monday morning, every paper in the state except his will carry the story I'm going to give him. Story about him and Miss Alexander, Mrs. Kane.
Oh god.
Mr. Kane.
We got evidence that'll look bad in the headlines. Do you want me to give you the evidence, Mr. Kane?
Yeah, I want to see it.
I'm interested in our son.
Charlie, if they publish the story, it'll
They
be all-
won't.
Oh, that's such a shame. But then I think he was also having an affair, so...
Are you coming, Charles?
No,
Oh, what a dick.
I'm staying here.
Oh god. You're the worst.
You little boy. You don't want him to read about you in the papers.
There's only one person in the world to decide what I'm going to do, and that's me.
There's only one person you care about, and that's you.
You decided what you were going to do, Charles, some time ago.
And he knows that his son's not his. That's why he doesn't care.
Only you're going to need more than one lesson.
Don't worry about me, Geddes.
Don't worry about me!
Well, that was juicy.
Geddes! I'm going to send you to Sing Sing!
He's not listening to you. Been there before. You ever had an argument with someone and you walk away and they just continue to shout at you and you're like, yeah, I'm not listening. I'm going now. Bye. And then you're like left and they're still shouting. Shout at yourself. I'm away. Oh, well.
I'm afraid we've got no choice.
This one?
That one.
Imagine owning a newspaper company and being able to print whatever the hell you want. There should be like a company that has to like police it and make sure that everything that they're saying there's evidence for and there's proof behind it all. It's all truth. And then when it's quotes from people, it should be word for word with all context. Why am I getting so angry about the newspapers? Those darn newspapers.
You talk about the people as though you own them, though they belong to you.
So that's what he thinks.
You're not very drunk.
Drunk? What do you care? You don't care about anything except you.
Isn't drunk so strange? Like the strangest thing ever, that you can drink something that totally changes you, makes you into this person that's like a completely different person, and you can't do anything. You can't operate machinery or drive cars or anything. It's such a strange thing when you think about it. Oh yeah, here we go. So that was 2 weeks after his divorce to his previous wife. And then when's his ex-wife die? Maybe it's already.
Are you through with politics? Am I through with politics? I should say vice versa.
Never. He's never going to be through with politics.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think she was that good. That's alright, actually. I thought she wasn't that good when she first sang. Really? Is it that bad? I thought it was alright. I obviously don't have an opera ear.
The notice. What's he written?
It's Sue.
Lift his head.
Pretty but hopelessly incompetent amateur. Of her acting, it is absolutely impossible to...
Go on.
But you knew, right?
I'm going to finish Mr. Leland's notice.
Oh, God. He's got the love goggles on, so he didn't realise how bad she was.
I guess he's fixing it up.
I love the sound of a typewriter. Ding, ding, ding. I used to have one when I was little, and I would just like constantly press the things. Ding, 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 and then ding, 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 ding. Well, that's fast typing. I was like this. I was only little, okay? And then if you made a mistake, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't like delete it because it was already printed on the paper.
Sure, we're speaking, Jedediah. You're fired.
You should have stayed in Chicago.
Quote, singer, unquote.
That's
he was going to take the quotes off the singer.
I was going to ask that, why they kept putting singer in quotation marks, but that's why.
One thing you can do for me,
Sure.
You can stop at the cigar store on your way out.
All about the cigars.
You know that young doctor I was telling you about? Well, he's got an idea. He wants to keep me alive.
He's funny. He reminds me of, what on earth's his name? The guy from Still Game, the tall one. Crap, what's their names again? See how bad I am with names? I was just watching it the other day as well. Victor, Jack and Victor. He reminds me of the tall one.
What do you suppose he built that opera house for? I didn't want it. I didn't want to sing. It was his idea.
You told him you wanted to be a singer.
You're out of pitch. Some people can sing, some can't.
Well, he's the expert.
I'm something of an authority on what people will think. I run several newspapers between here and San Francisco.
Oh, that's really shitty of you.
It's all right, darling. Go ahead.
You're upsetting everyone around you. Is there anyone even there? It sounds okay to me. What's wrong with it? Is it because she's not singing powerful enough? Maybe that's it. I don't think I have any right to comment, but I think she's a little screechy, not very powerful. But her voice is fine. Voice is okay, it's not terrible, like everyone said. Possibly not an opera singer, like a pop singer maybe.
But for the Inquirer or anything like that, spoiling my whole debut! Come here!
Well, he wrote it.
About that's my singing. I'm through.
She's
I never wanted to
pissed.
do it in the first place.
Well, then you shouldn't have done it. Nobody forced you to.
You will continue with your singing.
They do that a lot. They make the face black a lot sell out in quotation marks because Kane bought them all. Whoever this is, they're sleeping very deeply. I can hear her snoring.
Get Dr. Corey.
Oh, she took something. Right. That's not so good. Oh, she looks awful. She's so sweaty.
Couldn't make you see how I felt, Charlie. But I couldn't go through with the singing again.
Why would you try and get her to do it again?
The audience just doesn't want you.
That's when you've got to fight him.
Oh, don't push on to her how you are. He's like, in his head, he's like, yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like me, but I'm going to force them to like me. And that's what he's doing to her. It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid.
A person could go crazy in this dump. Nobody to talk to, nobody to have any fun with.
She says a lot of things that she wants, but then I think she realizes that's not what she wants.
Charlie, please.
Our home is here, Susan.
How big is that fire? How big is that house they're in? If that's how big the fireplace is, it must be like a literal palace that they're living in.
Huh?
I thought we might have a picnic tomorrow. Invite everybody to spend the night at the Everglades.
That's how big the room is. They can't even hear each other when they're talking.
You never give me anything I really care about.
God, this is depressing.
And never really give me anything that belongs to you, that you care about.
Susan, I want you to stop this.
I think it's about time you called it a day on this relationship.
You just tried to buy me into giving you something.
Susan!
Oh, what was he waiting to hit you with?
Whatever I do because I love you.
It's his belt. He took his belt off.
I'm Charles Foster Kane. Whatever you want, just name it and it's yours. But you gotta love me.
She's right, though. She's totally right.
I'm not sorry.
What's happening outside? What happened outside? Someone was screaming.
Tell Arnold I'm ready, Marie. Tell him he can get the bags.
Have you gone completely crazy?
Surely you expected this.
I'm not saying goodbye, except to you.
I won't let you go.
It's too late. Too little, too late.
Goodbye, Charlie.
But to be fair, I don't think she was any better because she kept asking for these extravagant things and then changing her mind. I don't think she knew what she wanted.
From now on, everything will be exactly the way you want it. Not the way I think you want it, but your way.
It's not about that. It's supposed to be a team. You guys are supposed to have what you both want. Not just all give, all take, no give, yes give, but not the same. It's all just a big mess.
In case you haven't heard how I lost all my money, and it was plenty, believe me.
The last 10 years have been tough on a lot of people.
Did you drink it all?
Well, if you're smart, you'll get in touch with Raymond. He's the butler. He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Maybe there is actual bodies buried, though.
I tell you about Rosebud. How much is it worth to you? $1,000?
Depends what you've got to tell. Depends how juicy it is.
I know how to handle him. Like the time his wife left him.
Christ! What the hell was that meant to be? Was that needed? No. It's got to be something to do with the money because it's the same on The Sims. You type in Rosebud and you get lots of money. Now, I guess The Sims did that for a reason. It'll be to do with this movie. And that's as far as I've got. There's only 10 minutes left and I'm stuck. That must have been so fun to film. Right, Mr. Wells, just get in that room and trash the place. Do your worst. Okay. Oh, that's the snow globe that you're holding. And when you die, and then it smashes on the ground.
Rosebud.
They better not end the movie without explaining what it means. They better not.
Rosebud. Then he dropped the glass ball and it broke on the floor.
Oh, I didn't realise that you were in the room.
How much do you think all this is worth, Mr.
Wow.
Millions?
Trillions. Gazillions.
All this stuff to America.
What's that? Another Venus. 25?
But...
Ever find out what it means?
No, I didn't. What did you find out about him, Jerry?
Not much, really.
She's the only one lit up with a puzzle.
No, I guess Rosebud is just a piece in a jigsaw puzzle. A missing piece.
No, don't you?
Come on, everybody.
Don't you dare. They're not going to explain what Rosebud means. Oh, you buggers. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that it's just a puzzle piece. A missing puzzle piece. No. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's his! This sledge from the beginning! And they've just What the hell? It's his sledge that he had at the very beginning of the movie when he had nothing but himself and the snow and the sledge out in the garden. When life was good before his mom sold him. Wow. That was crazy. What? Oh, that's nice to know.
You're gonna get more than one lesson.
What do you want to know?
Well, Mr. Bernstein, we thought maybe...
I liked him. I really like Mr. Bernstein.
I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
That was a very fast-paced movie. It didn't give you a lot of time to collect your thoughts. So let's collect them now, shall we? I don't understand what happened at the very start when his mom and dad, because his dad kept saying that he can stay in Colorado, and that he wanted to raise him. Wait, was his mom ill? Was his mom dying, maybe? Maybe that's why. So she was trying to give him a better life knowing that she wasn't going to be there. Does that make more sense than selling your child for whatever reason? And then when he was 25, he got all this money. And then he turned into this man that thought he was better than everyone else, which is what happens a lot when you end up with a ton of money, more money than you know what to do with. And he was very cocky and he was very all about him. He loved himself. Yeah, so that's what happened there. And then, oh my god, the sledge at the start, so that's what it was all about. He all of a sudden went back to that time when he lost everything. He went back to that time when he had nothing, and it was the best time ever. Because we saw him outside loving life and everything was, you remember that time when you're a child and you have no responsibilities, you have nothing to worry about, your life is just, everything's grand, everything's amazing in your life and you have no cares. That's what he went back to. A stress-free life right before he ended up with that Mr. Thatcher guy. Was this movie too intelligent for me? No, I was too intelligent for this movie. I figured everything out, apart from the Rosebud. I really thought it had something to do with his money, which it kind of did. He realised probably at the end that all the money and everything that he was collecting and all of the stuff wasn't really important. It was I can't even say that he needed the love, because I don't think he was truly in love with either of them. I think he needed to be a completely different person to experience what a proper relationship is meant to be like, because that wasn't a proper relationship, was it? Hell, either of them. And then I think he realised that it was too late and that he was old and that he was away to die and that it was too late to have a proper, meaningful relationship and life even without being such an ass. Probably the moral of the story is just don't be an ass. You know, when you watch a movie and you're like, as you're watching it, you're like, they did that deliberately. Every single thing that they did was on purpose and there was no like, let's just wing it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just try and then we'll see how it turns out. Every single thing was done the way that it was meant to be done. It was very artistic. It was very nice. It was very visually appealing to my eyeballs. The music with the certain scenes and the way that it was edited and put together with the music, it just was very, very creative, very artistic, and I freaking loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. And when I was like, wait, how long have we got left? And there was only 10 minutes left. I swear it was like, I thought I'd been watching it for 20 minutes. And I was like, how short is this movie? It's not a short movie at all. Oh, does it get best movie ever? Almost. I would say almost. I can't give it best movie ever because it wasn't. But I would say it's very close. Oh, it gets like a 7, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. There was so many parts in it that were like, oh, it's so juicy, it's getting good. And it made it very exciting for a female, at least, because we like the drama, we like the juiciness. And it had a few bits of that. And then at the very end when they did the whole Rosebud, yeah, it was just perfect. It was done so perfect. Right, remember, I tell you this every single time because I think you need to know how much it means to me when you like the video and you subscribe and you stay. When you stay, it just means the world to me. because you're here, and it's amazing that you're here. So you have to like, subscribe, comment, post notifications, head over to Patreon, check out what's over there. And that's us. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Mwah.